Hi, this is Sarah from Turn Back Time. Welcome to day 10. We're a sixth of the way there. If I've lost a sixth of what I need to lose already by dropping 12% of my body fat to just under 10%, then I'm bang on target. It might be a good moment for you to pause and just assess your own rate of weight loss, just to see if you are also where you want to be. Although I've done this diet before, I've never concentrated this intently on the figures, or this mathematically. So I am on a voyage of discovery too, along with you. I didn't lose any weight in the past 24 hours, which kind of burst my bubble a bit. But remember, this happened once before, I think somewhere around day 5. So if that happens to you, don't panic. Don't do anything differently. Perhaps the body's just having a stock-taking day. Just keep up the water intake and the right number of blocks. Even though it said my weight was the same, my bust size had dropped to 39.25 inches. My hips had gone down by ½ inch, and I'd lost 1/4 inch off the right upper arm and the left calf. You might ask, how can I be sure I'm measuring in the same place each time? Well, now I've got all these little dots all over my body where I have to put the tape measure. But this is still a margin of error, so I weigh and measure myself 3 times in every place. So there's a good chance that I'm right or near it. By now, day 10, I reckon we know each other well enough for me to touch on a few delicate subjects. And if we are intent on treating our bodies like a machine, then we can talk about it like a machine. So you may have noticed since you started this diet that you've gone to the bathroom a lot more often. Obviously, with all that water, you're probably peeing more, and by now what comes out should be as clear as tap water. That's a sign of a perfectly hydrated body. If it isn't, you need to drink more. A friend of mine went on a 1 gallon a day water challenge for a week for a news story, and he said he was taking his gallon of jug to bed every night just to try to get through it before falling asleep. But he also said the difference in his body after just 1 week was remarkable. His skin was firm, his hair was shiny, he lost pounds, and he slept better. So take heart. If your pee is not clear, you may also be trying to get your 64 ounces of water a day from tea and coffee, which are both, of course, a diuretic. This means they spur you to create more urine, and the water goes through you quicker. If you have 8 cups of tea a day, you'll actually be minus your daily liquid allowance rather than plus, because it'll dehydrate you. If you want to drink tea and coffee, to be completely safe, don't count it in the 64 ounces. Drink that as well. The more water in your body, the better your digestive system clears solids from the body as well. It can just flush everything through you so much more easily. And you can tell how well you are doing by the state of your poop and how easy or difficult it is to pass it. I told you I was going to get personal, but just like a doctor, you can study the state of your poop to see if you're getting this diet right. There's even a chart for it called the Bristol Stool Chart. You can even buy one from Amazon and put it on your wall. Who would do that? So if your poop is hard, dry and lumpy, you're still dehydrated and you need to drink more water. It might be painful or difficult to pass it, and you may feel constipated. If the poop comes out in one long piece easily, with no or minimal effort, then you've got it just right. That's a body working perfectly. If your poop is soft but in pieces, you need to eat more fibre. The fibre in your diet is what holds it all together and pushes all the waste through you easily, cleaning the sides of the colon as it goes. If it comes out in a scattergun in the pan, then something has upset you. Something you've eaten doesn't agree with you, or it's full of processed chemicals, which the body rejects. You might also have a virus in the gastrointestinal tract. Like when you go to one of those fasting lodges, you're going to get deeply acquainted with the workings of your own body on this diet. And you know when you eat something off the diet, which is processed and not balanced, that you are going to pay for it the next day. Doesn't mean you can't, but you'll pay for it. No wonder doctors pay so much attention to our stool, because it is a clear indication of exactly what is going on inside of you. So you need to get to normal as soon as you can, simply by upping fibre and water. This is why a glass of red wine is not the best carb. It has no fibre. Next, I want to mention bonking, which sadly you're unlikely to get on this diet. Why not? I can hear you ask. If I'm going to look like a Greek god or a Greek goddess in 7 weeks, why not? Well, for our purposes, bonking means something entirely different. Bonking is the moment when your body suddenly stops burning carbs for energy, but has to relearn how to burn fat instead, because it's forgotten. We've eaten too many carbs for so long, our bodies have been desperately trying to burn as many of those carbs as possible to get the sugar out of the blood. And it's never got to the fat. If you suddenly stopped eating all carbs in a desperate bid to stop getting fat, you'd suddenly feel absolutely exhausted, maybe listless, just totally out of energy. If you waited long enough though, the body would understand, and it would suddenly think, I have all this fuel here, better fuel than carbs, I'll burn that. And then you'd be off again. That's why the Atkins diet works so well, to drop weight. With this eating plan, it's different though. You never get to that bonking moment because you're feeding carbs little and often, but you're also feeding fat and protein every time you eat anything. So you don't create that panic in the body. It's like the different reaction that you would get from a toddler if you tried to take his favourite toy away. And he's going to scream, he's going to shout, it's all just going to get ugly for a bit. But alternatively, you just offer him something different and he loses interest in that original toy and realises you're offering him something different and something better. So he lets it go. And that's what this eating plan is doing for you. If you do feel exhausted at any point or sluggish, just go through what you're eating again and how much, just to make sure that you are following the diet completely. And make sure that you're getting your 64 ounces of water, because dehydration also makes you feel like that. Keep a constant check on yourself as you go along, and you'll soon see if you're diverting from the path at any point, just like checking the oil in the car. So on day 11, keep going. See you tomorrow. See what happens.